Hello and welcome to another edition of the Taylor Warden Show, I guess. This has no format, really. There's no scripts here. It's just me rambling for about 10 minutes at a time, really. And again, all of the free stuff shows up at YouTube, and some of it is over at the Substack, but I would encourage you, even if you're not going to pay for the paid podcast content that I do, over at taylorwarden.substack.com, or you can find all of my social links at taylorwarden.me. Sorry. Um, this episode is me talking about the problems with residential care facilities within Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I have so far stayed at 3 of them. And the last problem that I had was that they could not accommodate me as a disabled person. Now, I am disabled with spina bifida and hydrocephalus. Maybe I will go into topics about living with spina bifida and or hydrocephalus when I am more prepared to make videos for that. Right now, I am in a hospital bed, as you see, and I am just sort of looking out a window here. Great big bay window that I got here in this private room of mine that I'm so lucky to have. And I am staying again over at St. Peter's Hospital in Hamilton. Now, this is a hospital here in Hamilton that has no emergency room, no real outpatient clinics as far as I'm aware of. It's basically a palliative hospital and for medically complex care as far as I'm aware. I am in the medically complex care ward. Now, I am looking to get into a long-term care facility, which is different from a residential care facility. A long-term care facility has PSWs, multiple PSWs, I should say, on staff at all times instead of just one. And there are probably dedicated cooks and cleaners, and there would be nurses and doctors and social worker and so on and so forth. But over at a residential care facility, there is basically none of that crap. You have one person being the cleaner, one person being the cook, one person being the personal support worker. At least that was the case over in my last place. Not that I'm bashing my last place, it was a wonderful place to live at for the time that I lived there. But now, with my health, I cannot live there. I have a bum left hand and a bum left arm. Can barely use it, either of them. I'm not going to go into this right now in this video, but in April I had an incident and it still has not sort of rectified its situation. I am in debt too, and I have to get out of debt. I am working every day that I am in the hospital. Hence this YouTube channel, because that's what you do in 2025. You make a YouTube channel because in 5 years from now, in 2030, I am going to be almost 40 years old, and I will be starting a new chapter in my life around 2031. So 6 years from now, I will be in my 40s. And that means midlife crisis time, right? Right. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen there because everything is shit now. But I'm sort of exaggerating. I do have a pretty good life. I'm surrounded by people that love me. Whenever I want to talk to them, I can get a call or a text in and they get back to me fairly shortly. And I have the support of these wonderful nurses here in this hospital. And when I was even over at the Hamilton General Hospital, I had wonderful, wonderful nurses. So, what else do I have to say for today? Oh, yeah, I have been working more on the tabletop role playing game. I decided that the first character I want to build up is a merchant. Will be sharing my ideas in a different video about how I'm going to build up a 25 card ACEO deck based around the merchant within the universe. And my phone will not stop ringing for some reason. The PA will not stop going off. In this hospital, I don't know what is going on. I've been trying to record like multiple times here. This is like the 8th goddamn recording. This is the final cut. I don't care. I'm getting really upset and angry over this. I just want to get out a video today. I've even recorded videos of my tablet home screen, but whenever I finished that good video, I couldn't freaking publish it because it was so poor quality in audio. Because the mic barely picked up my voice. So, yeah. Before I get off on a tangent and get even more angry, let's just talk about the ACO tabletop role-playing game. So, I had made an update the other day about character traits. I gave out categories in about 205 different character traits. You can pick 5 for your character. You can mix and match from other different categories. So what I did with my merchant character is I took 2 physical, 2 magical, and 1 social. So what I did is I chose escape artist to get out of bonds and different situations where escape is required. Then I chose defensive expert so that defense would be the strongest offense, so that you would just basically not attack during any attacks, you would just defend. And then there would be, the 2 magical ones, card enchantment and temporary enchantment for items. So like if you character had a item on, say, a ring, you could temporarily enchant that, and I could probably charge a fee to that other player character for doing that temporary enchantment to provide some sort of bonus to them. And this is like all homebrew stuff for your game master to decide, as a lot of this is subjective, as it's a very subjective game, as it's all based off of art and subjectivity and interpretation. It's not mechanically fine and precise like Dungeons and Dragons is. There is no dice, there are cards, and no numbers on the cards. So, if your play group needs more precise mechanical outcomes, add numbers to your ACO cards. And yes, I would suggest that if you don't like that idea, then you abandon playing this game and choose a different system, because this game is mostly meant for the storytelling aspect instead of the bashing monsters aspect. There might be an update to the system where in the rule book you would have mana and hit points and character stats, but in a character sheet, but I haven't decided that entirely yet, because I want to keep things very simple for this game. I like the idea of your character being the deck and the art making up, comprising that, the statistics around the cards and their qualities and their tags, the character's chosen traits, how they grow and evolve with newly added cards and changing the tags or the cards in your deck when they're burned out. You can change them and discard them, add in new ones, whatever. Be granted rewards for you to add in new cards at the end of every session, because designers note if you have a card after the 25th card that is level 1, all characters basically start at level 0. And that's because there's 20 levels in the game, just like Dungeons and Dragons. There's 20 levels in the game that you can attain. And sort of like Guild Wars, one of my favorite games, where it's just very easy to get to the maximum and level in the maximum capacity for power, which is 45 total cards in a deck. And that would mean that your character is ready for end game content. So very difficult challenges. Anyways, I'm going to see if this video will even allow me to upload it, because it's past 10 minutes. So goodbye for now, folks.